What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am finally able to bring you an update to Heroes. That's right, Heroes got a lot of support split out over 3 sets. One in Maze, then in Blazing Dominion, and then finally in Battles of Legend. Each one giving us a different couple of cards to increase the consistency and power of the deck. This deck utilizes all types of heroes in the main deck now: elementals, masks, evils, destinies, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the profile, show you exactly what we got. There is a 1-card Miracle Injector combo that I might do at the end of the video depending on time, because it's like a very lengthy combo, but I suppose it will kind of give you everything that you can see in one video. So with all that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. Starting off with 2 Elemental Hero Stratos. Now some builds will play free, that's not an issue, that is entirely up to player preference. It's all about trying to slim down where at all you possibly can so you don't end up with a 60 card build, but that is very easily doable. Now the reason I felt that having Stratos 2 is absolutely fine is because of the most important, in my opinion, of the brand new cards being Miracle Ejector. So this card is always treated as an elemental hero card. If it is in your hand, you get to send a Neospatial monster from the deck to the grave, especially on this card. If this card is normal or special, you get to add a spell trap that mentions an elemental hero monster's card name from the deck to the hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to target 1 card your opponent controls and banish it. So it can be very effective going second. The issue is you need to send that Neospatial, and the only Neospatial you want to really be playing is your Aquadolphin. But the reason I've got 2 and 2 is that the 3rd copy is E-Emergency Call. Because this is always treated as an elemental hero monster, I found that rather than having 3 Miracle Ejectors, it was better off having the Emergency Call, because the Emergency Call could bridge to whatever elemental hero that I wanted to get access to within reason. So that would give me access to Liquid Soldier that I'm still playing. It gives you access to your Shadow Mist, your Stratos as well, and then of course you can get your Miracle Ejector. It deck thins a little bit. Yes, it doesn't respect Droll as well, but it still kind of gives you that ability to shift between the options you have available to you rather than directly going for one or the other. Now the spell card that Miracle Ejector will want to go to 9.9 times out of 10 is going to be on Shuffle. So shuffle an elemental hero or a Neospatial monster you control into the deck, and if you do, special an elemental hero or a Neospatial with a different name from your deck. Banish this card from the graveyard, shuffle from your graveyard into the deck either elemental hero monster and 1 Neospatial monster, or elemental hero Neos, to then draw 1 card. So it's nice you get to recycle the Aquadolphin, which is really cool, get you the draw, but then on top of that as well, the fact that your Miracle Ejector is always a elemental hero monster, it basically means this is the 1-card combo. Special on this by sending Aquadolphin from deck to grave, search out the on shuffle puts this back into the deck, gets you access to your Stratos, and you haven't needed to commit your normal summon. So that's how it can kind of perform the swings and roundabouts to get you where you need to go. For the rest of the elemental heroes, you've got the 1 Stratos, Neos, and then Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier is completely optional, same with some of the evil heroes as well. You don't have to play them. It's just kind of different preferences depending on the player, and no baselines on that one. Then we've got the 1 Neospatial Aquadolphin. I only recently found out today because I completely forgot that it was in Rarity Collection 5 as a stamped, and you can pick up like a Starlight Rare of that for like £2, which I think is crazy. Ultimate Rare, on the other hand, is very expensive. So, well, I say it's very expensive. To get it in good condition and in English, it can be quite expensive. But I digress. Anyway, moving on to the Vision Heroes, I still like to play the 3 Faris. I think Faris is still an incredibly good card. Yes, it doesn't do anything on its own. It does need that discard, but it then just gets you so much advantage off the back of it that it's one of these ones that gives you a bit more versatility and resistance against interactions, which, depending on the environment you're going to, your environment is either going to be jumping on the Field Breaker kind of route, or they're going to be sticking with the Cool Tune, like hand interaction route. And with Cool Tune being the #1 deck, like they're always going to be playing cards like Ghost Ogres, Ashes, Bells. They're always going to have those cards. So you need to be as resilient and have as much trade and 1-for-1 to keep on going as you possibly can, especially in a deck like this where the space for non-engine is a little bit more restricted. So you still need to be able to push through. Then we've got 2 Vision Hero Vion. This is ideally your normal summon of the deck, but then of course you do have other cards that can get you through to this, through Stratos, with stuff like Wake Up, A Hero Lives. You've then of course got your Miracle Ejector that will work its way into it, not directly because it's not an elemental hero monster, but what I mean from that is that Stratos searches it, you normal summon it, and then off you go. Then we've got the 1 Vision Hero Increase. Finally, like, I mean, we were able to play this at 1 previously with some of the new support. It's just nice to play this at 1. It still sucks if you see it in your hand, but it's not the end-all be-all of the combo. Then for our masked heroes, we've got the one Dust Crow, we've got the one Furnace, and then we've got the one Fountain. So Fountain is the brand new one from Battles of Legend. You get to reveal it in the hand to special on any hero monster from the hand in defense vision. If it's sent to the graveyard by card effect or to activate a card effect, you get to set a mask change from the deck or grave. Only each effect once per turn. So it's quite nice for utility. It's not perfect, it's not the end all be all, but it is still a very, very good utility card. The fact that it lets you special summon any hero from the hand lets you push that a little bit further forward. And then of course you've got Crow and Furnace to help back it up. For the Destiny heroes, I'm on a very small Destiny hero package of just 3 Malicious and 1 Denier. You can, of course, very, very, very easily be playing stuff like Destiny hero Evil Angel, and you've also Dark Angel, sorry, and then you've also got access to Plasma. I prefer not to main deck those cards because there's no guarantee I'm going to go first, and I feel that the go first field is still going to be very decent without those cards. Yes, they do become near enough auto win cards if you see them, but then they're also kind of annoying bricks if you don't. If anything, I would consider playing one, not both in the main deck, just to have another Destiny hero name. But I feel like going second, Dark Angel's not going to be that much use for me. Going second, Plasma could be kind of okay, but it's still not something I want to be heavily relying on. But again, player preference. You can very easily put it in if you need to and kind of work it from there. So then carrying on, we've got for the spells, 3 Fusion Destiny. So just very easy routes. Apologies for the light on this one. It is very, very sunny here in the UK, so I will take that because it's sunny for the first time in quite a while, actually. And then, just trying to lock the, there we go, lock the curtain down. That's probably going to shut the deck boxes everywhere. Anyway, I digress. 3 Fusion Destiny, pretty straightforward and simple on that one. 3 A Hero Lives. Get you access to Stratos. This is obviously the more costly Miracle Ejector play, because again, you could go for Miracle Ejector if you wanted to, but you'd also end up going for Stratos and then just build your combo off the back of that, but it costs you half your life points. I've then got the one Polymerization. It kind of hurts me not to play this type of artwork, so I'm like, I need to get another quarter century of the alternative artwork to play in Heroes if I want to play 2. But I feel you could play with 1. Like, you just have to recycle it a lot more, so you have to manage your resources better. 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Mask Change, Foolish Burial, Reinforce with the Army, and then Favorite Contact. So you're kind of just ticking off your one-offs. For the non-engine, I decided to go with Ash Blossoms, Fuas, and then you can either play 3 Forbidden Droplet or you can play 2 Forbidden Droplet and a Forbidden Crown, entirely up to you. Apologies for different sleeves. These are currently in one of my main decks right now, being Tellarknight, so couldn't keep bouncing the sleeves around. I do need to get myself like set to have everything in the same sleeves. But the other is the non-engine spaces really come down to preference. You could be like hyper aggressive, and all of those non-engine become breaker cards, or you can be balanced. But the other is this deck is like, you don't mind going second. So with heroes, you want to be able to go first, ideally, but then you don't want to see as much non-engine to clog you up. Like, you don't always want to see a Thor, but you want to see a Thor when you're going second, because then Thor then gets you advantage to, you know, net you as much kind of combo pieces as you possibly need. So, double-edged sword. Moving on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we've got 2 contrast heroes. So this is a card that kind of became more popular once we got Dust Crow, because it requires 2 Masked Heroes. So once we started to get main deck Masked Heroes, it was just so much easier to make, because usually Masked Heroes were extra deck monsters. So being able to get access to those, you've now got obviously Fountain, you got Furnace, and then you have Crow. And then on top of that as well, you can start to access some of your Masked Heroes from the extra deck. So it becomes a lot more consistent. Being able to get 2 is not that hard to do. And this is kind of like, it's our only negate, I guess, in that sense. So it's always treated as an elemental hero card, and then must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. While face up on the field, this card is also a light attribute. And then once per turn, while face up on this field, during either player's turn, you get to target 1 face-up card on the field and negate that target's effect until the end of the turn. I would have loved this to have been, like, it's great to target any card on the field. Great success, thank you very much. But this deck still just dies to Nibiru. Like, yes, you can play around Nibiru, but it still gets to, all right, end of main phase and I go Nibiru, and you go, right, cool, everything I've just been spending half an hour to build, and you'll see this in the Miracle Ejector, like 13-minute combo. Everything I've just tried to build, I'm just going to get end with a fat rock. Yes, there are ways you activate the DPE, destroy a Phoenix Enforcer, and kind of still float around some resources. So it's not the end of the world, but it's still like, can we get a negate, please? Then we've got 2 Masked Hero Darklaw, just the classic Darklaw. One of the Elemental Hero Thunder Giant, or Voltic Thunder. I actually still really like this card. So this requires 2 Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes, must be fusion summoned. If it is special summoned and your opponent controls more cards than you do, you get to destroy all other cards on the field. You contribute this card that was fusion summoned using a normal monster as material to then target Elemental Hero monster in the grave and special summon it. So remember, Stratos isn't like hard once per turns. So this is actually a really good go second breaker. And then in comparison to that card as well, we've got the 1 Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Range. So this is like your combo piece. This is better for going first in my opinion, and then Thunder Giant is better for going second. 1 Elemental Hero Shining Neos, Sunrise. I still like to play Absolute Zero. You don't have to, but I was like, you know, Mask Change even going into Acid. So if you Mask Change this into Acid, you get a complete field clear, but then your Voltic Thunder kind of does that job for you. But then Absolute Zero just makes it very sticky for your opponent to deal with. But this is a very easy flex spot. You can change this for pretty much any hero monster you want. I still like to play Wake Up Your Elemental Hero monster, just that 1-punch shot. You can go for Trinity, but this gives you a bit more of versatility because Trinity can't attack directly. So being able to attack with your Wake Up, I still think is going to be very, very useful. And then on top of that as well, the fact that if you destroy this with DPE as one of your infill pieces and you're going to get hit with Nibiru, this lets you float, which can be quite useful. Speaking of DPE, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, probably like one of the best hero cards the deck's ever got in the modern era. Then for the Link monsters, we've got the 1 Wonder Driver, basically there to reset all of your fusion spells. Well, that's definitely a Link free. So, Infernal Divisor, search out your fusion materials, mainly your Elemental Hero Neos. Your Cross Crusader, let you recycle some of your materials, like bring back your Mali, destroy your Mali, and off you go. And then the final one is the Decimator. I actually like Decimator. I think a lot of people undervalue it, but like how good it can be to give you your piercing damage on certain monsters that it points to, and then gain attack stats can actually just really work well with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, and it kind of gives you a very nice swing that causes your opponent like a lot of issues to try and deal with and navigate around, just because they don't expect everything to be, you know, boosting attack on the field, and this can make it very, very awkward. And if they try to be very defensive, then this one just goes, okay, and it starts pushing through. Anyway, that's it for the entire main deck. Now I will do, actually, because we are only like 12 minutes into the video, I'll do the Miracle Ejector combo just to show you how good that new card is. I say new card, it came out in Blazing Dominion, but to show you how good the Miracle Ejector is, what it kind of leads to, and how it makes it work. So I'm going to zoom out, reset the board state, and then, yeah, we'll be back in a second. So this is the 1 card Miracle Ejector combo. Now it can be done different kind of ways, like you've got a Hero Lives, you've got just directly opening up Stratos, but this is to show you baseline what Miracle Ejector does on its own, which is very impressive. So you get to reveal this card in the hand, you get to send your Aqua Dolphin from deck to the graveyard. In doing so, you're now able to special summon down the Miracle Ejector. Use Miracle Ejector's effect, you're going to grab yourself your On Shuffle. Activate your On Shuffle, putting the Miracle Ejector back into the deck, getting you direct access to your Stratos. Stratos will now trigger on summon in order to grab you your Vision Hero Vion. Normal summon down your Vision Hero Vion using this effect to send from deck to graveyard a Destiny Hero Malicious, and then banish that Destiny Hero Malicious from the graveyard in order to summon out another copy of itself. At this point you can link off your Destiny Hero Malicious and your Stratos to get yourself into your extra hero Cross Crusader. I'm just going to bring these all down a little bit because we're not going to really use the spam trap zones. You're now going to use Cross Crusader's effect, bring back your Mali, destroy your Mali, and get you direct access to your Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Now use Vision Hero's effect to banish from the graveyard, so you can pretty much banish anything you have access to apart from the Mali, so probably banish that one, being the Stratos probably the most effective of what you currently have, and grab yourself your Polymerization. Now use the Malice effect from the graveyard to special summon out your 3rd and final Destiny Hero Malicious, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use your Extra Hero and your Vision Hero, now that you've utilized them to the best possibilities, to get your Extra Hero Infernal Divisor. Now what you're going to be able to do here is use Infernal Divisor's effect to grab you your Elemental Hero Neos, and then you're going to activate your Polymerization to fuse your Shadow Mist and your Elemental Hero Neos, being a dark and a light, to get you direct access into your Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. You're now going to trigger a couple of different effects. Your Infernal Rage is going to grab you your favorite contact. Your Shadow Mist in the graveyard is going to grab you your Masked Hero Dusk Crow. You're then going to tribute off the Elemental Hero Infernal Rage because it was used with Neos, or fused with Neos, to get you access to your Elemental Hero Sunrise. Sunrise effect, just I'll try and tidy this up a little bit. Sunrise effect will then grab you your Miracle Fusion. Then you want to do is you're going to link these two together and you're going to go into your extra hero wonder driver. Now the reason you're going to want to be doing this is because you want to clear off your spaces a little bit, but you also want to keep the melee on the field because that is going to be very important to make some of our plays in a second. You then get to special and down the Dust Crow. From the Dust Crow you can banish anything from your graveyard again. Definitely make sure you're keeping these two in the graveyard at the very least, and you also want to make sure you keep this in the graveyard because your unshuffle will give you a draw in a second. I'll show you how you're going to do that. So we're just going to get rid of the Infernal Devicer. That's then going to summon down your Dust Crow. Your Dust Crow will then search you out your Masked Hero Furnace. So now you're going to need to make sure you do is that you trigger off the extra hero Wonder Driver once you summon down the Dust Crow. So of course Dust Crow gets you Furnace, but then Wonder Driver will set the polymerization, which is going to be quite important in a second. Then you're going to use the on-shuffle in the graveyard. So you're going to put back, banish the on-shuffle. You can put two back, again, leave these two in the graveyard. Anything else is kind of free return fodder. Definitely has to be the Neospatian, but then you'll put back something like the Sunrise. Then you draw a random card. Now at this point here, you want to use your Furnace effect. You're going to reveal this in the hand to then add a Mask Changer or a Polymerization from the deck to the hand, and then discard a card. But then the benefit of something like that is you're going to discard the random card you've drawn. Of course, keeping in mind you're still going to have 4 cards from your original hand that could become free discard fodder. So you're going to hold on to your Mask Change. You've got your Furnace still, so this is the point where you're going to activate the Polymerization using Furnace and Malicious to get you into your Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. We're still not done there yet because what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to activate your Miracle Fusion. Make sure you chain Mask Change, and the reason you do this is you get the maximum advantage of the Dust Crow. So whether you use Mask Change first and then use Miracle Fusion, it shouldn't make much of a difference. But the other is you get yourself a Dark Claw, and then you're going to resolve the Miracle Fusion, banishing 2 Masked Heroes from the graveyard, being your Furnace and your Crow. And this will then give you your Contrast Hero. Both of these are now in the graveyard. And then you've got your favorite contact set. Now remember, you still have 4 cards in your hand from your opening hand, so these can be 4 of any cards. These could be Ashes, Fuas, they could be Droplets, they could be cards that make this more consistent, that let you play through interactions and kind of move on from there. So what you actually have here is you've got the target negate off your Contrast Hero, you've got your destruction off of the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. If you summon a monster to a zone this card points to, which will be off the back of the favorite contact, you can recycle your Mask Change or you can recycle your Polymerization. And then of course you've got your Dark Claw, which anything is sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. And if they add a card from deck to the grave, you get to randomly banish a card from their hand. So all from one card, you've got this. Now of course, yes, I know there will be some comments that will be like, you just give you a fat rock from a Nibiru. It's like, yeah, you probably will. But at certain points, if you Nibiru here, I then am forced to use Destroy Phoenix Enforcer to destroy and destroy it, which is absolutely fine because then Destroy Phoenix Enforcer still comes back. Favorite contact's still there. That is always going to be leading me into a Elemental Hero Shining Neos. So this one will then become a field clear if I need it to be. There's still ways to play, and like I said, you've still got 4 more cards in the hand. So if any of these are something like a Vision Hero Farish, you might be able to push a little bit further forward, but the very idea is that you still have a little bit of resilience against something like a Nibiru if you need it as well. Anyway, that's it for the entire profile. If you do have any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. Heroes is like a really fascinating deck because it can be played in many different ways. You've got the evil heroes that I haven't even added into this build yet. You've got more of a Destiny hero route. And what I like is if you're a hero enthusiast and you pick up all the hero cards when they come out, you will be able to make like 7 different decks just from your hero cards. Like Stratos will probably be the same card that is in all of those builds, but then you have the ability, like, do I want to make this an evil hero build? Do I want to make this a Destiny hero build? So you've got different characters you can follow off the back of that as well, which makes it really, really kind of cool and very versatile to adapt. There are obviously certain ways to play the deck, but if you have a bit of fun here and there and you're like, oh, I just want to be a little bit creative now, I want to try something a bit different, then you do have loads of different options available to you as well. Anyway, that is it for the entire profile. If you do have any questions at all, like I already mentioned, put them in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. For now, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.